Super Mystery Dungeon, I haven't gotten very far into it. It doesn't really have a narrative going on. I know there is, but it's all happening behind the scenes. It feels like I'm
Six level shadow sorcerer. That's Pound of Flow. Bonus action, get a hound that has Dire War stacks. Hey Rob, that concentration lane. It's only one person, but you know, one person is doing it. Alright.
I'll tell you what. Oh no, I'm dead. As the equalizer, I guess.
So, you proceed. So, I'm going to explain, and I'm going to use everyone's assistance. Okay. So, you proceed to cast Plane Strike. It feels different. It doesn't feel like what you've experienced before with your normal Plane Strike. It feels emboldened.
It's out of place.
As you,
and I kind of like it for that. I'll go with it.
As you come to, you're in the center of the continent of Fate. Your home. It's your home city. Large metropolis of earth and buildings, bazaars, people all dressed up in full garb like you. People that you know and recognize, some friends and family that are just going about their day-to-day basis. And
I'm gonna go with a strange creature.
A young woman comes up. Hakeem. It isn't.
Oh. Okay, these first three are
and
not.
bows.
These first three are not
a pleasure. Alright, are you back from your travels with a friend?
Why, yes. Do I recognize her?
Yeah. This would be more along the lines of like a secretary to, since you are an ambassador and whatnot, this is your intermediary between the djinn and you.
Okay.
So you've worked in direct correlation.
Well, we've had rather an exciting trip. So I need to rest a little. I need to help my friend find his friends. We became separated. I attempted to negotiate with Zariel, the Archduke of Avernus, but she was not willing at the moment. Perhaps we approach her at another time.
Avernus?
Yes.
Okay.
That's interesting. Okay. Well, would you like to seek counsel with him?
Yes, please. That would be
what do you do?
Bleeding and burned, I follow him.
So, you proceed to, you are taken through the intercity and whatnot.
I cast Cure Light Wounds on myself.
Huh?
I cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Yeah.
So, you proceed to go through, as he's mending you, the people are bowing to a degree, very, very humbly, and moving out of your way, seeing that you are tattered and different things like that. As you get into the main hall, the first main hall of this massive palace, the earth and ground that was underneath you is now replaced by stark white marble that seemed to go on for almost forever. You see that there's a small walkway, and you see a throne to a degree. What was their name?
His name is, it's basically my name, but Hussein.
Hakeem Hussein?
No. His name is...
Yeah, his name.
Hussein, and then actually the rest of my name is the same as
Wait for a second, then?
Yes. And he's an air elemental djinn.
He's an air djinn?
Yeah.
And now we see what it'll look like when the game has its way with accessorizing.
So, as you approach, you see her bow. You see her bow, and I presume that you do the same.
The gloves were
Subtle bow. Just like
Yeah, very, very light.
yeah, like the 15-degree tip.
Hakeem, it is nice to see you again. I
And
see
you?
that you are battered. Is everything alright?
We had some difficulty. I was attempting to open lines of friendship with Zariel, the Archduke of Avernus, but that did not go very well. Apparently, she had some previous arrangements with my friends here that resulted in some hostilities.
As you look at him, he seems to be young. Very, very small and portion. Garb seems to float around him to a degree, as if wafted up into different pieces of air. But the skin tone is he still has a fleshy skin tone, darkened skin, like you would expect for someone from this area. But rather light on the clothing. It's like, well, I do apologize. Any friend of Hakeem's is a friend of Hakeem. And he bows. But I do have a question. Vernus is... How did you get there? It is supposed to be locked.
I'm not quite sure. There was this associate of my friend here, Rundar, and in this Loomdar, in this tower that they were attempting to. He was trying to regain control. He had the deed to it. He was trying to regain control, and then he somehow summoned me there in some sort of planar teleportation type.
Interesting. Well,
And then from there, this tower, which apparently connects to all planes, we left. Actually,
that is an amazing feat.
yes, we left with Mordenkainen. Actually, we met Mordenkainen.
Truly.
Yes, it was quite exciting, as I said.
He is an old fellow.
Yes, a little odd, but yes.
Well, I mean,
He was helpful though, and
I can't believe that he's still alive.
he claimed to
Define living.
be. Yeah.
If you call being a withered husk with a beard or that trails for miles behind you living, then yes, he's still alive.
I care for your friend. He has good humor. I do appreciate it. Well, I will see if I can find any information for you. And I mean, you have done so many services for our kingdom and for me.
Not that one. That one's fine.
Always my duty and my pleasure.
But I still have to return. Thanks. If you wish, we can establish room for you to rest and heal. If it would be fitting.
Be appreciated. I'd like to return to the Astral Sea as soon as possible, but
The Astral Sea. Oh. Well, we will see what we can do.
thank you.
That's actually pretty good.
So, for the next 2 weeks,
Probably do with a little bit of shrink.
you proceed to take time, sometimes going, Hakeem, you would go and visit Airpret, or Set. And throughout that time, you've been bathed in luxury, for the most part. Pretty much any whim that you really wanted, anything that you wanted, Hasim has provided. After those 2 weeks are out, Hasim looks like, I believe I can get you back to the Astral. It would be difficult, but I will do what I can. I believe even Hakim could maybe bring you back.
You know where your friends likely went?
I do. They should be in the company of a very ancient white dragon somewhere in the Astral Sea.
I'll talk to Hasim about the weirdness of the planar shift and the notes that I saw from Northern Canaan. Maybe that'll help us understand what's going on and why things feel different.
Make an intelligence check. I mean, I'll give you, if the DC is going to be low because you literally wrote down most of it.
Right.
That looks about as good.
Yes, it was,
Actually, it doesn't look that
he
bad.
called it Plane AA 2.6 and described what he said about paralysis.
Yeah.
So you tell him as best as possible. You don't get the name right, and that is strange. I will consult some viziers.
I appreciate it.
Maybe someone has information that we can use.
Very good.
So if you wait, I will see what it is. It will take time.
Wait. I actually want
do
to
you wait?
random.
So, a month passed.
Monstrosity.
He has spoken to you throughout this time. He has brought in
Yeah, let's do it random.
higher level people, scholars, sages from all around, from different countries, from different contacts.
Teresa? I like that. Winding.
They cannot find any information on this plane to A22, however he described it, but
Aphrodite.
a running theory that some of the more intelligent, some of the people have come up with is that it's not a plane that they know of, and based upon the experience, the emboldened spell, they make assumptions that it may have been a more potent enough than you anticipated.
I know which one you're talking about.
Alright. I'm gonna see if I can.
Well, that seems to fit with what we were seeing there and the tower we were in.
What do you guys do?
I'll entertain him and show him around the city.
Yeah, Seth probably am smart enough to understand what all that means.
What do you do?
Well, we can attempt to go to
What are you going to try to do?
Can't Seth figure out that if he tries to plane shift, he'll probably go to a different astral sea than the one Borogal is from?
Make an intelligence check.
Okay.
DC is going to be low. I'm going to say,
Oh, it's a nat 20.
so a piece of verse hits you.
Yeah. Oh God, is that his leg?
My finger just appears there suddenly.
Yeah.
So a piece of verse is insight, more so. Some of his thoughts, some things like that. So if all these intelligent people can't seem to agree on what it is, and if they're saying it may be different, is that what happened? Maybe this isn't the same. Make a history check with advantage.
Wonder Woman is banned.
Alright, let's put it down.
All right, cool. 8.
First hit you, but DC is low again.
Okay.
This is you taking like time to figure this out, talking to different people and whatnot. So you eventually.
I'm not going to give up.
Looking into the history of Faith, the country that you're currently in, and trying to figure out events of the world itself, this plane of existence and different things, they don't seem to line up with things that you know, and things that you understand that are certain. So there's some possibilities that you can make. What would you like to do? And have you been assisting him, I assume?
Yes.
Because this is some interesting stuff. Huh?
Yeah, it sure is.
All right, a very sick eye. Yay.
All new worlds to explore. You might be able to get us back to the tower. How did you get to the tower?
Dumb luck.
Ah, okay.
Oh no, I hear things falling off.
All right.
It's easily enough time for lights to get
Well,
advanced.
Also Teen Titans.
Okay, I was really hoping to get back to verse. That's probably not going to happen.
You've been playing this for a while.
We've played this game so many times. Well, like we played it.
Well, I don't suppose your vizier or whatever is in need of a master of disguise.
Why, yes. Yes, indeed. We can
So-
have difficulties.
So after you come up and you speak to Asim, offering your services. Asim, wow, it's like, well, we do need assistance from time to time. Someone who can act as if they are. Unfortunately, while we are a peaceful country ourselves, sometimes our work is needed to be done in shadows.
I honestly don't even know what's in there.
So,
Well, early
you will work directly under me, and you will work with our team. Traveling.
Dude, that's from all
Would this be to your benefit?
I suppose.
Then
Yeah, shield, a loincloth, and
I would like to give you a name. Set seems so simple. Don't you agree?
She were actually had like a red.
It's from a simpler time.
He made kind of like
Is there any new name that you would like to go by?
It's enjoyable.
I
There's less emphasis
not
on
particular to any one name. I've had so many for years.
Well then, while you're in my court,
brother blood.
I will call you Elpres. Al-Bali Ben Nafat Al-Yam Ge-Yom.
I'm not here to win. I'm here to get him as angry as possible.
As you are of my house and of my court.
So he's gonna be playing Vince. He's gonna be Mr.
Thank you.
Ah, welcome.
I think Mr. Krabs
Brother.
is playable along with Plankton.
How do you spend the rest of your life?
Uh,
I want you both to work together.
Sure.
first thing they said when I worked in there was.
I may be able to guess back to the town.
I just like to imagine that said in Plankton's voice.
well, if you could, it would be appreciated, but
That actually wasn't bad.
if I can fully regain my memories, I'll be back to my full self, and that could also be a
I mean,
benefit.
it's not, you know,
Ah.
spot on way.
Okay.
It's not good for you, but
Can we do?
Huh?
Okay, so the
How are your memories
story,
missing
especially
and
after
stuff?
and what gets you to want to call
I
it.
believe
Is
some
that
sort of curse or
there's an
something.
anniversary for
Ah.
Dragon.
Can we get a remove?
Everyone has to compete in auditions.
So that's what you start with?
And along the way, they're going to try and
I
find
guess
out.
it's probably just
As you
Be
begin,
anyone that we play.
so
Oh, that's right.
you start seeing viziers. You start seeing people of the kingdom trying to get removed, curses removed. You have gone pretty much through about 10 to 15 holy men, and it does not seem to be that any of them can remove these. They do eventually inform you that there is a item that may be able to assist you. Once ingested, it may be able to return memories that were of past selves and past lives. You take this as maybe this may be a method to get what you have lost. Through a large span espionage, because this is a country that you have not, yours has not been on good terms with per se. Of course, right? You proceed to work towards this, infiltrating their ranks as one of the lower guards. It is a slow process, but it's about a year and a half throughout, working through it, just becoming a lower guard, becoming higher up inside the kingdom, and eventually one night stealing it away. You proceed to take it in. Your memories do flood. You remember the kingdom that you're from. You remember the past deeds that you've done. You remember verse. You remember. You haven't forgotten them, but you remember them more clearly. You have thoughts of the tower. How do you spend the rest of it?
If he is able to find a way back to verse, I take it, but otherwise I do my best to serve the gym.
So, through findings and different things like that, information gathering from the multiple networks that you have and that you've established throughout all this time, you hear word that there is a place that is similar to the tower. You have grown a little older.
Yeah.
It's taken time and travels that are countless. The spot that you hear of this is supposedly somewhere that fell below the sea. After traveling there, you get there at a fairly ripe age. As you get close to it, this large, massive black tower that seems to encompass everything in your view sight. Have you joined them? No. The doors open up and you see a rather old Brundle. Sorry about that. I really am. I'll see what I can do, but I can't make any promises. I'm technically not supposed to go back on places. But I can make your life better if you want.
You know, I think you've done enough.
As you proceed to go to grab Rundar, you walk through him. It's an illusion.
Yeah.
But you do try to grab him, and I would assume after all these years, you tried to throttle it. It's like, I think you've done enough. And you go up looking like you're about to hug him, and then you proceed to just right through the head.
Rundar goes, oh wow!
So, that is the tale of Aircrex. So,
Grand old irony.
you cast Word of Recall.
You can flip more than one.
It shifts. It's not as potent as yours was, as you are just literally traveling to one plane over. You are now in a massive ice fortress. In the center, you see a large chair that a gentleman is leaning against one side. He sees the spark of you coming through.
The last remnants of the acid wave going through the devil.
And you see it sear some of the acid line, and then this large chain devil is there.
So we can continue fighting and talking, or we can have a nice conversation. Either way, I'm having fun.
Oh God, don't worry, don't worry.
So,
I bought you a souvenir.
make a persuasion check with advantage.
Too bad. I love the voice acting too.
15. I have a negative.
Barak smiles.
You
You have done well.
Sound effect, and then I realized
And he breathes out, and immediately he frosts over half of the devil. But it cracks out.
I remember playing this.
Seeing him, seeing you two.
After that 21 intimidation and 24 con save.
So you like trying to shift out of you?
Nope.
Okay. What's he doing?
He said he's getting him. He said he's getting him.
which I did.
Yeah.
I played a nuts amount of this game.
I was like, where are you getting something? Because I didn't count the
Oh, don't.
Oh, what? Oh god. Oh, I missed one. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just randomly throwing patties everywhere.
Yeah,
I need to know if any of them are less than a 20 to hit.
okay.
No, it was a crit and it was a 19 on the die.
Damn it.
Okay.
You told me not to
How much total damage?
That's what I'm giving you. Give me a moment.
Only got one death ward on.
I'm not gonna die, but I'm gonna be damn close.
Let's just say you go down to one. So both attack. He takes the chains and then he pulls, and you literally feel the life and just blood just ripple out of your body, and you just you have 1 hit point.
I dimension door out of his grasp. As far as I can to the other side of the room, behind Barak.
I lost track.
Well, just tell me what you're doing. Like, how does this go? What happens?
With this out of the way, I mean, I'm gonna stab him.
Okay, so I'll say that for a little bit of expediency, there's a
I want to
fight.
make him a slave
Yeah,
to
with
Barak.
you trying to knock him unconscious so that I can cast Planar Binding.
We do not want him to poop out.
Okay, let's do this thing. I need you to.
Tail minigame?
I want you to make 6 attack rolls,
Okay.
and I want you to make 6
My only problem is I meant to
intelligence checks.
With proficiency?
Just intelligence checks.
Okay.
You have a good intelligence. You should be okay.
Only a +5 instead of a +10.
Yeah,
Her attack rolls are +8.
I know.
First two.
It's okay.
A natural 20, so a 25, a 16.
Does a 14 hit?
No,
Okay.
but just tell me what
I'll
you
write them down.
Does a dirty 20 hit?
Yeah.
Does a natural 20 hit? Does a 19
Yeah.
+8?
Yep.
17, 25? Okay, so 4.
Okay.
With the nat 20.
Yeah.
It also
A
tells
25, a 16, a 20, a 12, a 12, and an 11.
Okay. So except for the 11.
Yeah.
So it takes another probably about 30 minutes. It's not that long.
Anytime he comes charging over, dimension door.
That's fine. And Barak is literally just watching, and from time to time, when there's an opening, he literally throws a cone of cold at him, and it expedites the process. But he enjoys seeing you run around, just literally. It's a live action show. So eventually, he is frozen over. You're able to cast Planar Binding. Huh?
It is the same?
It's all good. I would say that throughout this time, he's going to eventually fail.
Each time he
So,
wakes up, I just knock him with a pommel with my dagger to knock him back out.
what happens?
Fast. We
I
make
mean,
him
I
a slave.
offered them as a gift.
Yeah. We brought a pet.
So, but what else happens? Tell me about how you spend the next few months.
First,
Few months, probably
we try to get set back as best as we can.
Make an intelligence check.
21.
Okay.
If it's an Arcana, a lot higher.
Alright, I remembered what that was.
So you start thinking about that, and you start thinking about the country that he spoke about. You've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I've never heard of it, but it's somewhere on the Prime.
Yeah.
So you've decided that you're going to the Prime?
I first off decide that
I
we need
mean,
to figure out
I
what
was
to
planning on using magic to a Scion set.
It fails.
Cool. That doesn't work.
I cast Sending.
It fails.
Okay, it does that sometimes when people on different planes.
It does
Try
that.
again.
It fails.
Man, you're really getting unlucky.
I call Rune Door.
It fails.
Why?
So,
tower?
I try my best to learn plane shift over time.
Okay.
I start to delve into conjuration.
But
As I'm normally evocation, but I know to get my friend back, I need to figure out a way to pull him back to me.
Okay.
And I've already got some like conjuration spells, so it's not that
Yeah, it's not a leap.
big of a leap.
Man, you don't even bother getting gate for me? Are you even my
I'm
friend?
going to once I get it.
So this is you taking time and
I do
learning.
every mission Barath sends me on with glee, knowing that each mission I complete gives me one more step closer to slowly mastering conjuration and evocation. I've kind of given up on evocation and devote my time to conjuration because Set really cares. First really cares about Set. He's kind of someone that's been with him through all of this.
I'm sorry, I wasn't.
And
It's fine.
All right,
It's fine.
I'll give you yarn and your spin in a second. So I like that. All right. What does Jack do?
Yeah, we got it. That was like neck and neck.
Yeah, for one of those.
She will
Alright, so
look
this
into.
one's
She still remembers
There are
the
tiles on the ground that correspond
stuff
with
on whatever
moving
the
yourself
shows
left
over
and
there.
right.
Yeah.
She will look into that. So
Like every other color. it
So
alternates.
make a
I think
wisdom
this was
check.
our worst
Wisdom check.
Yeah. So you're supposed to bounce stuff that's coming in.
17.
So let's do this. I'll say that for
Unless it's a.
the first 2 months, you proceed to start working together, casting, sending, casting, trying to reach out to Set, trying to reach out to Rundar, just trying.
I'm not 100% certain on
And to know of it.
So you see,
Barack starts sending you on missions, saying that there are magical means, and you do go, mostly for your own accord, but you are trying to actually serve. But from time to time, you have these visions, these pop-ups of a past life of a former god that you serve. Eventually, about 4 or 5 months in, working for Barack, you eventually one night are praying and just trying to think and meditating and just trying to figure out what it is, and then you see a black feather fall at your feet.
I don't like this. This is making me bounce.
Yeah, you pick it up. But you're in an ice cavern. There shouldn't be any feathers here. There shouldn't be anything like this. And then it starts to hit you. You get a thought of a god
It's gonna be neck and neck.
that believes that death is a one-way thing. It can't be cheated. A belief that you used to uphold.
With this match, we're gonna go into
It's slow and it's creeping, but the thought burrows into your head, and it continues for years until you eventually one day realize that this isn't right. What you have been doing isn't right. Who you've been serving is not right.
In character, do I ever find out that Barack is planning?
I would say yes. What do you do with this information?
If I realize what I think I realized, I'd probably start planning on killing Barack.
Do you get first to assist?
Yeah.
Do you?
Have to find water, honestly. I'm assuming that we go out on missions so that we can gather resources.
If you were really paying attention and there
Do
wasn't
you?
distraction, then this would be a really good.
How has Barath treated me? That's the big thing.
You're kind of like a dragon would treat a kobold.
So a
It's
slave, a plaything.
not as belittling, but you know there's a difference. It's
Now
not.
there's a much clearer lead.
He doesn't treat you poorly, but he doesn't treat you with respect.
How helpful has he been for me finding spells?
From time to time, he does assist, but it's not. But you have to persuade him to do this because it has to be in his benefit as well.
Actually, no, Mr.
In
President.
character, what do you do?
For now,
My extension, I am Mr.
I am neither way. I won't help him, but I won't hinder you.
He said, damn it, my proxy.
You did. You've also saved my life, so I have yours. Thing is, right now, he can still kill me whenever he wants. He can kill basically either of us. Find a party willing to help, and then speak out later. I would prefer to have set first.
This is an evil mini game.
But if you can find someone,
Okay, now
no.
Yeah, the gulf is almost
You can
getting
figure out magic
I've been learning. I've been finding things. He spoke of a djinn. He spoke of it. You were here, right?
Yeah.
The spellcaster that was there at the tower spoke of a djinn. During research, I would probably research more about djinns. But I know that they're like wish makers.
Not wish makers per se, not all of them,
But some of them,
there's a possibility. And it's a very, very loose possibility because a lot of it's lore based. It's not.
Verge is clinging to any thread of hope he can find.
So,
And he is researching about how they do wishes, trying to.
Oh no.
A little bit. I would like one. If we can't find one, I'm making some progress to figuring out how they would get about this. I have started with Planeshift, started trying to make a gateway, a large one that spans planes and can pull things towards us. I am trying.
Alright, I think we're gonna get into it.
Well, if he's dead, I'll bring his body to me then. I want confirmation.
I don't think I've ever had a four-way tie before.
So, I plan on figuring it out. I've more or less given up evocation. I need to find Seth. I need at least confirmation on he's dead. That's not confirmation. I want a body. Or at least something. Something to bury.
so
It
it takes time.
Oh yeah.
It takes a lot of time. A lot more than you think you have, but you push past it because you are already old.
I'm only 49. Kobolds live to 135.
You're also aged prematurely.
Yeah. Technically, I was 9.
I think I got that one.
Now I'm 49.
And you have been worn and weathered. You have taken a lot of beatings.
A lot of the time, I'm trying to spend in the astral plane. Since, from what I know, Barath doesn't age.
Correct?
And I'm saying as much as I can, except for the missions.
So, you proceed to move forward. You proceed to try to come up with this plan on how to defeat Barath.
I was pressing A, but
Tell me a plan.
Well,
How would you do it?
Well,
you're leading this.
yeah. Gather any adventurers that might see fit. Obviously, only high level ones. Seeing as how monsters have played pretty badly. And then, well, we know his personal teleportation mirror that I set up.
Yeah.
And I did
So
as
we can
well.
probably catch him by surprise.
Okay. So in other words, throughout the time you've been finding adventures, finding things, you've been finding information, and you're not hindering, but eventually you assist.
The shadowy figure that once talked to me in a dream. has he ever helped me? Have I ever had a hint of somewhere to go for power?
You have. At one point, eventually makes a deal and says, if you grab this power, I may be able to assist you.
Where is it?
It's at the depths of the darkest pit inside of the Shadow Cell, in the plane of agony.
That's a bad idea. I shouldn't have done that.
I'll need a party for that.
No, I should have. Okay. What did he have?
All right. What is it that I'm looking for?
You will find it and you will
I'm gonna try and read it.
Mysterious entity.
You see, the thing is,
Basic instructions. See them?
so the darkest pit in Shadowfell?
What?
The darkest pit in
You going in reverse
Shadowfell.
order?
The realm of insanity.
In the what?
The realm of insanity.
All right. I go finding insane adventurers, ones that are willing to go into a dark area for prolonged periods of
So
time.
after about 20 years of working together, eventually you two decide to break off. Your goals aren't aligned 100%, but you proceed to, you're going forward with your plan to stop Iran.
You
You
said
didn't say
to
that
her,
before.
if everything goes well, these adventurers will hopefully
I started doing bamboo like this. And
be around where we are in power. Hopefully, I will be able to bring some back to help us. But I can't promise that. And I don't know when I'll be coming back, if I'll be coming back.
So do you wait, or do you take the adventures you have?
Oh, they're about to show the cutscene, but I think we ought to save that until the end. Because let's see what kind of nonsense we get into.
Have you told me where you're
It's
going?
just like in Mr. Krabs plays.
Somewhere dark and dreary.
You don't know that. There are several things.
I remember being.
That's a hint there.
And if I wait for you to
Well, that
leave
means
me,
this is like, of course,
This is like
I read it too.
then I'll wait at least
That's the first time I've ever seen a
All right.
some time. I don't know how long I have to wait.
You
Ireland.
kept it close. You kept it close. I hate these mini games here.
I don't know how you roll anymore.
So,
we're all even super villain. I want to be.
Oh, I plan on.
you eventually get there. It takes time, and you find adventurers that are, by definition, insane.
Crazy enough to go into a place of insanity.
You proceed to dive as much as possible, and eventually, though, insanity grips,
You go under
and you forget why you're there.
first person.
You forget the people that you traveled with.
So on and so forth.
You forget those around you, and eventually they just become
Because sometimes there will be
a
two
meal.
bits and a little
And then an opening in the middle. Yeah.
So don't actually.
You live there now.
Hey,
That'll
have you
always
ever-
slow
This
you
is
down.
your home.
Have you ever
It
played
is
Flappy
dark.
Bird?
The winds are unforgiving. The only real safety you have is whenever you bury yourself into the holes that are blown apart by the winds that scar the,
I love
the
how
upper
much
landscape.
this robot is inflated.
So, I have no spells left. I have no spells anymore.
You may, but you just don't know what they do. You don't know.
I'm using them on any prey that happens upon.
And you proceed, you burn through every single. Eventually, you become.
Oh God.
You create a form of light from your hands where people come towards you and eventually try
Okay. You know what? That's
to aid you. They try to hold you up. And you create a community of the insane leading the crazy.
This is fine.
You have your own home.
Mexican or just.
You have your own crazy people. It is the letters running the madhouse.
That's
I remember
fine.
I lost this
So that is
last time actually.
that is your story, and that is where you will live for the rest of your life.
For the whole 135 years Cobalt live.
This is a lot. Yeah, for the rest of it, this is already years past all of this. Jacqueline, how long do you wait?
1 second. It depends on what the range of the spell is.
Because eventually she's either like, I'm done waiting,
Ah, shenanigans. Oh, what the hell? How did I recover that so
Man.
I have so many pages.
I know.
I wish I got a roll for that.
Okay, that one's the same.
Okay, see, wait a minute. Where'd that drink come from? Oh god, I am so far ahead in the.
I had pre-rolled and already determined which percentile
Huh?
for him. I was just telling you. Okay.
Oh, I couldn't heal.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. What you got?
I mean, I cast Sending.
From time to time, you hear a voice in your head, and you assume it's your conscience.
Cool. Status update.
Yeah, this is.
Hello? What? Who the fuck are you? You don't sound like me.
Damn it.
Oh god, okay, I actually had to think about that one. Look at how far ahead
I would just leave it at that. It's beautiful as is. Leave it at that.
I've got more than twice the next lowest person.
Do I have any form of response?
What you just did. Nope. What you just did is your
I
response.
cast Sending again.
And
Which way?
he doesn't remember. I don't remember.
Darkness comes to the light.
I don't understand what is keeping
So
me.
you take that as he may not be coming back.
I don't know.
Oh god, I actually need to know how close I got to some of my spell research.
Yeah.
Because this actually matters. Because if I get close enough, I might ask names of people that are talking to me.
So this has been like how many years?
About 4 years, 5 years. You've been sent out on missions, and you have high or low
High or low?
for finding proper adventures. So you find some adventurers. They seem willing. They seem ready to go, and they're waiting on your word.
They seem tough.
They do seem tough. They seem as tough as they come.
Beat the crap out of them, see if they die. One of the Sindings finally came
Not a
in.
bad strategy.
One of the Sindings finally came in. Beat the crap out of them.
I just love that that's the high school.
I mean, if they're fine with it, I will try to like test their skills in combat.
That always
Because
makes
if
me
they
wonder how
are
the
not
game's
as
a little
tough
different.
as we will, we'll all
I remember the first step being much higher than that. I honestly think
They are not.
this game gets better with it.
They want to fight a dragon, like you stated, and they are ready to go. They're waiting for your word.
I don't understand how.
But they're not actually ready.
No, they are ready to go.
No.
They want to jump into it now.
No, I asked if they were tough.
Oh, yeah, and they said that you believe they
How
are.
did everyone get ahead of me on that?
Yeah, you believe they are tough enough.
Okay, I thought you said no, they're not.
Oh, no, you said that you were going to test them. They don't want to be tested. They want to get ready
And
to fight.
SpongeBob is doing terribly.
But if you
See, how did
You
Sandy
will
get ahead of me on that one? I don't
be dead. Yeah?
It's me, is I'm constantly
Understood.
There's
We are
no
ready.
clear understanding
Okay.
of
He actually got the
You get a group of like 15 people throughout the
How was I
year
not getting
trying
points?
fighting. So I mean, you've got a good sized band.
I think it's, I don't know if there's
Tell them what you
I'm using it all.
I mean, I'm assuming that's like.
What do you do?
I don't understand it all.
You're talking to me.
Oh, god dog it.
I mean, I'd probably do some spells in preparation.
Okay.
Whoa, I just
How much like resources do I have monetarily?
You don't worry. This is free pro. This isn't like you need to have set amount. Tell me what you're trying to do. I'm trying to give you a story.
So I
You're not wearing actual.
have one plan I want to try, but I need
somehow
to
still distant.
get it.
Okay. What is it?
I'm not doing as good this time around, so it seems like the net.
Can I cast Planar Ally?
You can definitely try.
Yeah, so it's not like
On.
So you just cast it.
You
Okay.
summon
And then
me.
you
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
And you go, hey, can you do this?
Okay.
this is by far the worst of the I actively despise this. The rest of
I'm
them,
assuming that
games
does my
are
Clerical power come from the Raven Queen now, or still Victor?
At this point, yes.
Okay.
So, but I need you.
Yes. I just am double checking.
Yeah, you know, I
Shows
understand. Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I
but at least you're not. At least you're not as far behind.
Put that tree there.
At least you're not as far behind.
He said he went to
I know, I'm just trying to be enlightened.
Would that be where the Raven Queen resides?
We can. I can try, but I cannot make any promises. So they proceed to go there. They proceed to start looking for verse. I don't think you have enough funds to keep up this expedition for more than a month.
I don't know what kind of abilities they have that
Wait, it's still counting. It's still counting up.
Yes. Your plan.
We will try to kill them off then, because I need to stop him from becoming an undead dragon.
Dracolich.
Dracolich, yeah.
So, late one night, you proceed to activate the teleportation port on the plane. You proceed to have all the men come in. You have recruited some of the kobolds that still live inside of the cavern as well. And you proceed to have them attack Barath in what you assume is a state of slumber. Unfortunately, as you are coming through, he's not there. It is at that point the kobolds proceed to turning on the other men. And they're not doing as much as possible as they could. The kobolds fall pretty quickly. But Barath does come and proceed to wipe out all the men. And then saves you for last. And I gave you so much. I respected you. And brought the White Death. I take all. And with that, he takes your head. Not to. I rolled 9%. So that was significantly on the other end. Alright. It comes down to Mordai and Mordecon. I do apologize, this is taking a little while. That's alright. But I'm trying to give a little bit of something. So, Mordecon.
Apparently.
For the next 3 days, Branamon takes you in and proceeds to assist, heal you to a degree, and get you back up and going. And he offers you a deal. Do you take it? You are in your right mind to work for him.
Just made a mistake on a job. And
What's the deal? The deal is you work for him or you die.
At least you got together.
Yes, it doesn't seem like I have an option as long as you don't
I
do
really
the
wanted to yell at
mind.
Death is always an option. It's your call.
That's not an option, that's an ultimatum.
Tomato, tomato.
As long as you don't pull any of that mind fuck me, and if you could heal me, and if you could give me another arm.
We have been taught that death, as a fellowship, as a member of the fellowship, I'm not.
Yeah. This is just something you taught, saying that you learned. It's not in character.
You learn that death is not true. That death is ultimate salvation.
I also learned that you and Rundar are
Like if I'm gonna be
psychopaths
honest with you.
who are on bloodlines.
So you got to give it to him a little bit. So you proceed to offer you the deal, and he does assist. He gets someone that does know regeneration and starts growing you an arm. You're with Zarel. So, you wish to speak, didn't you?
Yes, yes I do.
Then speak.
I believe you can find a key and set in a place called Fate, if you wish to deal with them. Verse and Jacqueline were servants of the White Death, so if you want to deal with them. I serve. It's not a really. I am in line with an ancient god by the name of Kasuf. And I know of 17 individuals who are blessed by Kasuf who could be weaponized in the weaponized as an advantage in the blood. Additionally, I am the head of an organization, of a religion that is slowly gaining followers, quickly gaining followers on the prime-material plane. Again, allies in whatever machinations we wish to use. What I would like is that through our efforts, that the Hells become aligned with Kasuf, and he can provide us aid to ultimately rule Hell and then conquer all of creation.
Make a persuasion check with advantage. Here. Okay. Yeah, hey, I still require other people to roll dice. Don't jump. Not yet. You require me to roll dice? Yeah, how'd you roll dice?
That is a 24.
Alright, so, she's smart. You're shrewd. I do enjoy that.
I think I let mine.
You know what would work as well, I think, right now? I could always use another general. Because it seems like one of mine are gone.
Another
General.
general.
It seems like one of mine is gone. We're going to work towards this revolution.
Oh, that one. That's a good one.
So long as the ultimate goal is the overthrow of my father and the ruling of Hell so that Hell could eventually take over creation.
I'm already randomly just like.
I'm not particular on where I start in the hierarchy.
Actual competition.
So long as
I get to kill your father, I think I'm fine with it.
I would also like to become a full-fledged Death. I would like my heritage to be fulfilled.
I don't care about running. I just hate your father.
Oh, excellent. Then if you kill him, then I will, which I will, then I will take over and see that.
Okay. So, Mordecai, throughout your time as a servant of Baramon,
My favorite one of that is
Branamon. That's a hard name to say too fast. Branamon. Throughout your service of Branamon, he asked you to go through the different levels, and you experience literally different forms of hell, but he gives you a legitimate passport to do this. You're allowed to walk the streets and whatnot. Eventually,
You can't tell me that.
I would secretly attempt to have him assassinated.
fully understand.
Right?
Make persuasion checks and make dexterity saving throws. I want you to make 3 of each. Not you. Just him. This is for the assassination.
Persuasion checks.
No, perception checks.
Oh, perception.
Perception checks and dexterity saving throws.
Does anyone have a paper and pencil?
I'm writing it down.
Okay. First one is perception 31.
Okay.
Second one 22.
Okay.
And third one 24.
Alright, dexterity saving throws, 3 of
Well,
them.
you are definitely in second place, and not too far behind.
That
Anyway, I'm also I don't anticipate to get
27.
unless we all roll.
So now we just sit
15.
here, controllers down here, go place.
And 23.
I hate this. So you squirt water on people to knock them out of the arena.
Yes! Oh, this fucking game.
High or low?
Smash the fuck out of
To
A.
charge for an extra special hit, and then there's
High.
And
High or
every
low?
once in a while there will be low.
Low.
I hate this.
High or low?
Don't see this.
SpongeBob.
Get the SpongeBob! Oh no! No! Not there! Wait,
Low.
I'm winning? How?
No!
Oh no! Oh,
So-
alright.
I like how I went in, annihilated people.
Throughout your time, it takes years,
How
whatnot.
does this work? I don't
Um,
understand.
Every couple of years, it seems like someone tries to kill you.
I don't want that.
The first time you were on edge because you literally just got back your arm, and you were like, I can't lose this. I will be crippled.
I'm not aware of.
The second time, it takes a little bit better, so you become more cautious.
It does.
The next few attempts are complete failures. One more that you didn't expect
No,
is
the
that
break works. It just there's
you eventually are given time to go back home,
like because otherwise.
but there is someone that is at your home
How is
that ends up trying to do you
Here's where
in.
things get nuts.
Unfortunately, it was them or you, and you proceeded to choose you.
Oh, I'm not okay.
The last attempt, you were able to thwart, and you know that
How'd you survive?
someone sent them,
I don't know either.
and you get word that it came from someone
I don't
alone,
know. I don't know how I even took the
someone
lead.
from Dispatch,
Kurt says
for the second level.
God damn it. I hate this video game, but I also love it because it's so silly. Damn it!
Oh god, no.
I'm really getting up here. Oh no!
I love
I'm going to go down to the 9th
I don't
level
know
of
how
hell.
I'm so bad at it.
You can't get there.
Stop that!
Even without the password?
Oh hell
I
no.
know there's a 10-point bonus for
You're allowed there, but you can't get there.
Which makes me wonder, because I'm literally not supposed to go out.
Then I guess I'll head to...
Sandy broke up the nice.
Who wants to speak to the manager?
I guess I'll head back to the material plane.
Okay. Anyone go into hiding?
No. I want to go back to Foe, the remnants of it,
Okay.
and try to...
Yeah, he wants to go back to, not the remnants, but he wants to go back to Foe. And Foe at this time has expanded. People from the astral have gone out and proceeded to touch almost every basis. And it has gone a good distance.
I would have informed them when Mordecai's heritage on site.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
And I would inform them that...
We'll do this real fast. High or low?
You know what? I'm just not doing anything.
High or low?
What do you guys
Low.
take the lead?
Alright.
I don't think anyone can. I should have stopped
38.
before now. I'm
So, it's more in favor of you because
no, no.
So,
Okay.
they eventually tell you about words that they've heard that you're a heretic. And you should be killed on sight, but you reach out to some friends that you did have there, some people that you knew, and they do aid you, and you eventually do tell them that Rundar and Mordai are insane.
I tell them every secret I've heard, every story about their insanity, and I tell them about...
Say yes to drugs.
And I tell them every dirty secret that
Okay.
they have kept, and then I begin to tell them about about Mordai not coming back.
Not coming back.
That's incorrect.
That was the greatest.
Oh, I thought
You can tell them that.
Well, no, I
That's
thought.
not gonna happen.
Well, I'll tell them all their secrets and stuff.
Well, you still, I would say that you still try to tell him. It's like Mordai's not coming, but he's been here.
Oh,
We've seen him.
all right. Well, Mordai is still doing.
be the true champ, but you know.
Make a persuasion check with advantage. I want
Sorry,
you to make
trying
a
to
persuasion
find.
check with disadvantage. Just opposing views and whatnot, and based upon the percentile dice. Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
I wiped out. Where are the Rams?
What was it?
Rams.
7.
7 total?
I'm sorry, 9.
Oh, there's
9 total?
23.
So you eventually do get people to your side, but the vast majority of them still believe in Go. So you start. What do you start doing? What do you start doing?
Becoming Protestant foe.
I tell people of Foe's corruption that the original creators were not worthy of their words, and how they were more blind, more psychopathic, and of their own self goals.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, what are you doing, like, with this group of people that have started following you?
With the people I follow, I will have them keep to the shadows and spread these stories, the corruption info, and try to gather, amass an army, and then after a few years of doing this,
It does not work out.
Okay.
Yeah. You're able to convert a good bit of people, but even on a good day, like, or a bad day for most part, the words that he speaks are extremely
Yeah, so women.
flowery.
Oh, God damn it!
What are you doing?
So, again, I denounce Mordai as a heretic. I make the claim that he wanted a position of power he was not prepared for, and as such is now disgruntled and is basically saying anything that he believes will turn people against the true path. I will also, in secret, begin bribing, cajoling, threatening all people of power to basically, for various games, but if they were to find any member of the heretical branch, they would burn them.
Okay. So roll a stealth check.
Just overtaken.
Should be easy enough.
5.
So that means once again,
I'm not proficient in stealth.
Oh, never mind. Okay, Tyler, I'm giving you this decision. I made numbers in my head for everything.
5.
Alright, Ireland. So, you radicalize these people. They follow you. They start spreading these things and trying to hide. And you've assisted with their steps, trying to keep them hidden from Mordai, trying to keep them hidden from anybody. Unfortunately, from time to time, people start speaking because they believe what you're doing is right. But unfortunately, people speaking is exactly the issue. Word gets out. More of your followers begin to fall. Bribery is a powerful, powerful thing. Especially when there's words that they may be able to get something extreme out of. Eventually, it is just you. and you are hiding. You have a few people that are still around, but they don't trust you to keep them safe. Though you are still trying.
I take the money I've collected
I'm not paying
and
attention.
purchase a scroll of planar travel.
Oh no.
For
That
what?
shit is
A scroll of planar travel.
So that'll be about 20,000 gold pieces.
You might have been able to do that. You might have been able to do that.
So you should be able to get that. It's a high level spell.
And
What are you going to do with it?
So if I
I'm going to set a destination for Mount Celestial.
It fails. You can't just planar travel.
No!
I would say through your research you can figure that out. So you don't just burn the spell.
I'll try to planar travel a more aligned area. Something.
Trying to seek
Shelter.
asylum. Okay. I'd say that you are able to do that. You're able to get into a more good aligned area where at least seek some sort of asylum in a place called the Cage. Sigil itself. You know that any deeds that are going wrong there leads to instant death by the protector of the sigil. But she does not take any niceties to those who want to upset anything.
I don't know.
I just want to.
She does not speak to you.
Yeah, and if you
She
say
will
hi to
not
her,
speak
she
to
might
you.
actually come out.
And people will warn you of this.
Oh no.
You eventually begin to settle into life. Fear of assassinations have fallen to the wayside as you begin to get older and begin to realize it's okay. I'm safe here. You settle down and you do have a life. It's not exactly an exciting life, but you've had a good deal of excitement leading into this beforehand. Years of conflict, years of strife, and different things like that. You proceed to move forward with your plans. Word of Mordecon has not come back to you as dead, but so you assume that the best and maybe the worst has happened. So you decide to accelerate to a degree. You push forward, and eventually you do get to meet your father. Zorel is by your side.
Thank you.
It's nice to see you. I'm happy that you're here. Don't you have anything to say to your father?
Why'd you name me Sue? I believe that your leadership of hell and I believe that I have a path forward that will allow hell to conquer all of creation.
And this is the last race.
That would unfortunately break our agreement. So I can't really do that.
What agreement is this?
The Celestial Accord. The one that binds me here.
I see. Is my name on that accord?
It is not.
So
Why do you think I had you?
Ah, well then, step aside.
Is Zorel going to kill me or should I kill her first?
Zorel, what is it? What would you like?
He's dead, if I can help it.
Well then, I leave this to you.
You pulled that by less than 100 points.
So,
Or just over 100 points.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting there beating the shit.
you guys all,
That third race.
you guys don't have to worry about this.
Oh yeah.
Everyone else eventually has to worry about this. But you're old. Oh, you're dead, actually.
Yeah.
Verse is insane. You're in Sigil.
Yeah.
All of creation is under the rule of Mordai, the pious.
Wow, what a sad existence.
As you proceed to take the armies of hell and push past, using the assistance of Caius, push past the demons, overrunning the abyss. Your name is not on the accord. No one can stop you because you have there's no legal precedence to stop you.
That's fun. That bit
Yeah.
So what does Caius do with all this?
As people are dying, they don't stay dead. They come back as a part of him.
Awesome.
And slowly, he proceeds to infect everything.
Awesome. Well, all right. You're welcome.
I hope that was semi-satisfying. I know it wasn't exactly the everyone wins and everything's beautiful.
No, because there's tons of privilege.
But
Well, I won.
But yeah, you won.
Yeah, everything works out for
Your
you.
story wasn't bad.
I mean, I probably died in some alleyway after a botched job, but you know.
I didn't say you could retire.
Yeah.
You got old. No, you don't.
Set doesn't retire.
Airfrex doesn't retire. He dies in the house. But okay. Well, so needless to say, that's this campaign. I think it was a interesting finish.
Yeah.
Finale.
It finally finished.
We're glad we're in a different plane of existence.
Yeah, really. One that
We're in a
is-
different universe.
Different universe of existence.
So with that, we're gonna stop everything and we're gonna go from there.
Okay.
I hope I've been a decent DM at least for
yeah.
you guys, and I hope you can at least tell stories of the crap that you've done.
It's gonna be hard to forget the time I destroyed an entire city with a single sentence.
Exactly. So with that, we're gonna say goodnight.
You remember,
Stop the stream and go from
I
there.
was like,
The time
See you guys next week.
it was on 5.